A Sunday service at a city church, St Mary Newington in South London. Canon Giles Fraser's congregation is of all ages and full of enthusiasm. But he thinks the Church of England focuses too much time and energy on saving steeples rather than souls. His own church was bombed in World War II, and keeping the tower safe will cost £750,000.
If you end up turning the clergy into buildings managers, they're not actually having the time to go out there to proclaim the gospel, to be evangelists, to bring people in. And really we have to say, it's not about the buildings. Actually, it's actually about proclaiming the gospel. Moses did fine in tents, and, we can do fine in tents too.
The Church of England has referred to its 16,000 church buildings as both a burden and a blessing. Here in Suffolk, almost all of those buildings are listed. And while rural churches are often much loved by their local communities, they're not always well attended. A quarter of them in rural areas have a weekly attendance of fewer than 10 people. The countryside is home to the majority of Anglican churches, but just 17% of the population. So, although people in countryside parishes are more likely to go to church, the upkeep can be a greater financial burden.
And today is the fourth Sunday of Advent.
But this rural vicar at St Nicholas Church says there's no reason to abandon smaller churches in the countryside, often the lifeblood of their local village.
Where so much of the rest of society counts things in terms of population and numbers and says there aren't very many people here, so we're going to withdraw from there. For the church, we don't think in those ways. We think people who live in small villages are just as valuable and important to God as people who live in largely populated areas. And so we're here for the whole community, not just the people who come on a Sunday.
The congregation here, at his 13th century church, doubles for the Christmas carol service.
Very important is the spirit of the community. It's amazing what this church does. Everyone is brought together all the time. We do so many different things.
We love it. We renewed our wedding vows here. Tiff has done. It's awesome. We don't come over all the time, but we do come over, especially for Remembrance Day as well, and because we've not been in the village that long.
The Church of England report says churches should be open to new uses. Another idea is so-called festival churches, spreading out the times that rural churches hold their services.
There will be those who will feel worried about new things happening in churches, but frankly, it's a matter of either them being used more and more widely, or of them just becoming mausoleums, and I don't think anyone would want that.
It's not clear what will happen as a result of the consultation being held by the Church of England. It has sold off churches that are no longer viable. But for many, the buildings are a precious part of England's heritage, and for some, a beacon of hope in a troubled world. Caroline Wyatt, BBC News, Rattleston.